Why do we begin every year with an Odyssey? Why do we spend 15 days traveling with 50-some adolescents and 7 adults on a 3,000-mile-long journey? The Odyssey is about building community, about having no choice but to work together to make the trip happen, whether student or adult. We set out in a bus, camp each night, cook our own meals, study together and get from point A to point B, and then we do it all again the next day. The Odyssey is about challenge, physical, academic, and social. We take whatever the weather may bring, sun, humidity, storms, you name it. Academic challenges follow themes taken from our route that we carry back to school with us. In our 3-year cycle, we go east, west, and south, studying early American history as we travel east, and Native American history and culture on our trip west. Our Odyssey South follows the Mississippi River all the way from Minnesota to Louisiana. Thus, the river is one of the themes of this trip. We also study 19th century America as well as the Civil Rights Movement. Our destination is the Gulf Coast, where we study marine biology. This year, our major challenge was waking up to pouring rain 3 days in a row. It was as if this storm was following us, and by the 3rd day, when we arrived at our campsite in torrential rain, we just about gave up hope of ever drying off. To say our spirits were low would be an understatement. But someone was looking out for us, and the rangers at Trail of Tears State Park finally agreed to let our whole group, 64 people, sleep inside the visitor center and museum.
On our first stop on Odyssey South, we dive into the 19th century, visiting Ulysses S. Grant's home, given to him by the town of Galena, Illinois after the Civil War. The next day, we explore Hannibal, Missouri, where Grant's contemporary and friend, Mark Twain, grew up, and where we tour a wonderful museum. We go on to visit the Vicksburg National Military Park, where we learn about the significance of this battle during the Civil War and how important the Mississippi River was in the Union's eventual victory. We even camp at the Grand Gulf Military Park, a Confederate battlefield and ghost town full of history and creeping kudzu. We study the Trail of Tears, the forced relocation of many Native peoples in the 1830s. We see where the Cherokee crossed the treacherous Mississippi River in the winter of 1838 to 39, as they marched from their homeland in Georgia out of the United States to territory in what is now Oklahoma. From learning about the struggles of Native Americans, we journey to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, Tennessee, and see the balcony where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968. We appreciate the breadth of this museum's exhibits, from the slave trade to Jim Crow laws, to sit-ins, bus boycotts, and freedom rides, just to name a few. After 5 days camping, cooking, learning, and playing together, we arrive at the Gulf Coast Research Lab in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Having such a destination makes our 15-day Odyssey possible. We stay in dorms, eat in a cafeteria, and participate in a program, getting a break from putting up tents, chopping vegetables, and waking up in a new place every day.
The setting is beautiful, right on the Mississippi Sound and the Davis Bayou, near East Beach, a mile-long stretch of sand near quaint downtown Ocean Springs. We're so grateful to be out of our tents in the rain that the cinder block dorms built in the 1960s seem like a luxury hotel. Mostly we appreciate the air conditioning and the showers. The dining hall provides good southern food. The GCRL campus gives us the opportunity to hang out on the docks, to watch the sunrise in the morning, or to play ball games in the afternoon. We have time to relax and make new friends. But the programming is the best aspect of GCRL. It includes time in classrooms where we learn how to classify vertebrates and invertebrates of the Sound and how to dissect a shark. We kayak in the bayou, fish off the dock, and take a pontoon tour of the Pascagoula River in search of alligators. We venture out in an ocean research vessel to catch, measure, and tag sharks. Hooking a shark is a real thrill. The ride in the boat is pure delight for the students, but the water in the Gulf of Mexico sends many students into the cabin feeling queasy. We also take a boat to Ship Island, where we learn about the barrier islands and their importance to the Gulf Coast ecosystem. And we connect our marine biology with Civil War history as we explore Fort Massachusetts. We enrich our scientific learning with some cultural experiences as well, like a visit to the Walter Anderson Art Museum. We take a day trip to New Orleans, where we visit the aquarium, explore the French Quarter, and we eat beignets, sample more Southern cooking, and listen to jazz. We're sad to leave this place we called home, even if for only a short while, but we're ready to head back to Minnesota. To ease back into camping and bus travel, we make 2 last stops.
We continue our exploration of the civil rights movement in Birmingham, Alabama, where we stop to visit the Civil Rights Institute, the 16th Street Baptist Church, and Kelly Ingram Park. We learn about the Children's March, segregation in Birmingham, voting rights, and much more. Viewing documentaries on the Children's March as well as films such as Night John and Selma, and listening to a recording of John Lewis speaking about the beloved community enrich our visit to Birmingham. We also stop at Mammoth Cave National Park to visit the world's longest cave. It dwarfs other caves with over 400 miles of explored passages and features all types of cave formations, including beautiful stalagmites and stalactites. The historic tour connects us back to 19th century America. We get home tired and dirty, but with peak experiences to remember and wonderful stories to tell our families. The group that left Minneapolis as a bunch of students and teachers has become a community, one that recognizes the value of cooperation and working together, one that values kindness and appreciates equality. We have discovered new passions and made new friends. We have made connections and had epiphanies. We have learned geography through our hands and feet, giving us a more visceral understanding of our country, its history, both natural and social. We have a better sense of our place in our small community, as well as in this larger human story.